Islam Makhachev is on the verge of becoming the greatest fighter the sport has ever seen, but he still has two monumental challenges ahead of him. Can he surpass Jon Jones and Demetrious Johnson to claim the title of the most well-rounded fighter in MMA history? Let's break down why Makhachev could soon be the GOAT. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this. Now, let's get into why Islam Makhachev could soon become the most well-rounded fighter in MMA history. Islam Makhachev is on the verge of redefining what it means to be a complete fighter in MMA. According to his coach Javier Mendez, while Makhachev is already the most well-rounded lightweight in UFC history, he still has two legends standing ahead of him when it comes to the all-time list: Jon Jones and Demetrious Johnson. Mendez made it clear that Jon Jones' ability to dominate every area of the fight game at light heavyweight, and Demetrious Johnson's technical perfection across multiple disciplines at flyweight, set an almost impossible standard. However, he also believes that Islam is closing the gap faster than anyone expected. Makhachev's elite-level grappling has always been world-class, but the evolution of his striking, particularly how he dismantled top opponents with clean, efficient stand-up, has taken him to a whole new level. Mendez emphasized that if Islam continues on his current trajectory, fighting the best, defending his title, and possibly moving up divisions, he could not only match what Jones and Johnson accomplished, but even surpass them. It's rare for a fighter to be elite everywhere: striking, grappling, clinch, submissions, fight IQ, but Islam is showing he has all the tools. And if he stays consistent, the conversation about who the greatest all-around fighter in MMA history is might soon have a new answer: Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev's next move is one of the most highly anticipated decisions in the fight world right now. With his dominance at lightweight firmly established, Makhachev has multiple exciting options for his second fight of 2025. One path could be moving up to welterweight, something Islam himself has spoken about openly. However, the current welterweight champion, Belal Muhammad, has complicated things by showing little interest in fighting Makhachev right now. That leaves the door open at 155 pounds, where several big-name contenders are waiting. Justin Gaethje remains a popular option, but the fight fans are really buzzing about is a clash between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. After Topuria captured the featherweight title and announced his move up to lightweight, it created a potential super fight that has people talking. Makhachev versus Topuria would be a matchup between two incredibly skilled, dangerous fighters in their prime. Exactly the kind of high-stakes, high-skill showdown that defines legacies. Whichever path Makhachev chooses, it's clear that huge opportunities lie ahead for him to further cement his greatness. Islam Makhachev's rise to the top hasn't just been about his elite grappling. It's the evolution of his striking that has truly made him one of the most dangerous and complete fighters in the world today. Early in his career, Makhachev was known almost exclusively for his suffocating wrestling and submission game, following closely in the footsteps of his mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov. But as he climbed the lightweight ranks, he began to showcase a sharp, technical, and powerful striking arsenal that caught many opponents off guard. His head kick knockout of Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 294 was a perfect example. Against one of the most respected strikers in MMA, Makhachev not only held his own, he finished the fight with a devastating shot. His ability to mix precise striking with world-class grappling forces opponents into impossible situations, never knowing whether a takedown, a submission, or a knockout punch is coming next. This striking development has opened up new conversations among fans and analysts about just how far Makhachev can go, and whether his blend of skills makes him the future standard for what an MMA fighter should look like. When it comes to the debate over who the greatest lightweight of all time is, Islam Makhachev has firmly entered the conversation. His dominant title reign, combined with the record for the most consecutive lightweight title defenses, has placed him alongside legends of the division. One name that always comes up is his friend, teammate, and mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib retired undefeated, an incredible achievement that cemented his legacy, but Islam is building a case of his own through sheer longevity and a growing list of accomplishments. While Khabib ended his career at the top, Makhachev continues to fight the best and take on new challenges. Some fans point to Khabib's perfect 29-0 record, while others look at Islam's ability to dominate across more fights and possibly across multiple weight classes. As Javier Mendez pointed out, if Makhachev keeps winning, defending, and evolving, he could eventually pass Khabib and stand alone as not just the best lightweight ever, but one of the greatest fighters in MMA history, period. While many fans and analysts point to Islam Makhachev's first fight with Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 284 as his toughest test, Javier Mendez has a different opinion. According to Mendez, Makhachev's hardest battle so far actually came against Dustin Poirier at UFC 302. Against Volkanovski, it was the fifth round where Makhachev faced real adversity, taking more damage than in any round of his career. But overall, he controlled much of that fight. Against Poirier, however, it was a war from start to finish. Mendez explained that outside of one round, every round against Poirier was a grind. Poirier pushed Islam to dig deep, forced him into uncomfortable situations, and tested every part of his game. It wasn't just a technical battle, it was a mental and physical war of endurance. This fight showed another dimension to Makhachev, his ability to overcome adversity, adjust under pressure, and find a way to win even when things aren't going perfectly. These are the traits that separate champions from all-time greats, and it's why many believe Islam's toughest fights are still ahead, but so are his greatest achievements. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Islam Makhachev's rise to greatness, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to MMA Thread, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on the biggest fights and hottest topics in MMA. And let us know in the comments, do you think Makhachev will surpass Jon Jones and Demetrious Johnson as the GOAT? We want to hear your thoughts.